Hello everyone, it's Psycho back with another video. Things have been pretty quiet since the last time I posted. I did get some new movies on Blu-ray and DVD. A couple of well-known classics. I'll start with Heavy Metal Blu-ray. This is, I don't know, it's Sony Pictures, Columbia Pictures put this out. It's a pretty bare bones Blu-ray. The DVD that they put out previously had more special features on it, and there's no special features exclusive to this Blu-ray release, but I'm hoping that the picture looks awesome and everything like that. That's why I picked it up. I didn't have Heavy Metal on Blu-ray. Then from SHAREfactory, I got the collector's edition for Mad Max. A lot of the same bonus features on this as the old DVD from, I think the studio put that out. But this looks really nice. I watched it, and it's everything I remembered Mad Max to be, but it's just an awesome movie. Kind of kick-started the modern action movie, as far as they say in the bonus features, and there's quite a few of them on the disc. But awesome movie. There's no redoing or replacing Mad Max, and I love it. So I had to have this on Blu-ray. Picked it up. Then from Draft House Films, I picked up The Visitor. Now, I've seen this before, but I don't really remember. I just remember some of the visuals on it, and I actually got this kind of confused with a movie called Aftermath, which I believe had Sid Haig in it. But some of the visuals and some of the... I think I watched those movies back to back years ago, and so I picked up The Visitor, and I started watching it one night, and one of the things with this, it's a Blu-ray and digital copy. It comes with a little book inside, which is nice, but the audio levels on this are kind of disappointing. Some of the sound is so quiet, while others is so loud. It's hard to hear the dialogue. In some parts I had to turn the volume up really loud, so I'm sitting here with like the volume dial, turning it up and down, depending on what part of the movie it was. And I didn't finish it, and I think I was drunk and pretty tired as well. I kind of fell asleep. I'm gonna have to watch this one. The movie's got some pretty incredible visuals in it, and it's definitely worth seeing. I just don't have a whole lot to say about it at this point. Maybe I'll review it at some point. Then from Blue Underground, I picked up their DVD release of Fight for Your Life. It's the incendiary grindhouse classic of racism, rape, and revenge. And man, this movie, I've been holding out for a Blu-ray, but they haven't yet released it. So I decided to get the DVD. It's these inmates escape from a prison convoy and break into this house of a black family. The head of the household is this old preacher guy, and it's a basic home invasion, and things get really crazy. These guys are racist and really sadistic, and by the end of the movie, you get to learn if the preacher who heads this household decides to fight back because he's a total pacifist or not, and what happens. It's a good movie. It's well acted, and it's definitely full of tension and disturbing movie. But really interesting exploitation stuff here. And from what I remember from the bonus features I watched long ago, it was marketed to different demographics under different titles and with the totally different marketing campaigns, depending on, I guess, what color of people they were marketing the movie to, which is really weird. So that's those are the 4 releases that I picked up in the past couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since I posted a video. I've been watching a few movies. I checked out Code Red's Blu-ray of Erotic Nights of the Living Dead. That's it's a Joe D'Amato movie with Laura Gemser, George Eastman, and Mark Shannon. Now, I watched the bonus features on this. There's a few of them, and Mark Shannon, he's like a freaking Italian porno stud guy, and I thought I had remembered that there was no hardcore sex in this, but there is, and it is what it is. It's all Mark Shannon in the scenes. Like, of course, George Eastman doesn't do any hardcore, of course. Laura Gemser doesn't do any hardcore. I don't know the names of the actresses who did, if they're just like Italian porn girls or what. But yeah, this is them mixing zombie horror and sex film essentially, and being only somewhat successful at either of them. Uh, Laura Gemser, who of course that's why I would have this movie. She plays kind of like a ghost out on this island, and not a really powerful role for Laura Gemser. But it is what it is. This whole movie is what it is. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who doesn't want to see hard-ons and full sex. And if you're like a guy, if you're a person into zombie movies, I don't like the idea of genre of zombies, but I guess it could be considered a genre. It's not one of the better ones. There's a few scenes, and the zombies are pretty much islanders in sheets, so it's kind of an odd movie. Altogether, it's like it's a halfway to a good movie. It's okay, uh, but definitely not great. I wouldn't say seek it out. You must have it unless you're, a big Laura Gemser or George Eastman fan. The story is this businessman kind of has acquired this island and wants to develop it for like a big island resort, and there's a big cemetery out on the island, and this old man and this woman played by Laura Gemser out on the island. Anyway, the businessman hired George Eastman to take him out, the skipper of a vessel, to take him out to this island, and the old man out there says, and the woman say, we don't want your money, and we don't want your business development out here. It's just us and the dead, and nobody else belongs here. And so, of course, he doesn't listen. He thinks he can buy out these people, and just move in, and I guess unearth all the graves and everything. But no, it ends up bad for him. Then I watched last night Severn's new Blu-ray of The Devil's Honey. It's a Lucio Fulci movie. And it's kind of a melodrama and erotic horror movie, or not erotic horror, just erotic thriller, I guess. And it's got some famous actors in it that I haven't been the most famous or most familiar with. It's got Corinne Clary and Brett Halsey in it, and then a couple of other cast members that I'm not familiar with either. But it's kind of cool. It wasn't a waste of time. Decent movie. Lucio Fulci, of course. It's clearly a Lucio Fulci movie. When you watch it, you can definitely tell. But it's like this young couple, saxophonist, and his girlfriend, and he's like a domineering and pretty kind of selfish and abusive in his way boyfriend, and playing stupid. He gets into he's playing around on his motorcycle, and he falls off and hits his head, and ends up with like head problems. He ends up fainting and falling over at one point, and goes to the hospital. And the surgeon is played by Brett Halsey. He's having problems with his wife. He's been, going out and getting hookers and stuff like that while she stays home, and he pretends he's just doing surgery the whole time. And she finds out about this, and their marriage is on the rocks and all of these kind of things. And so she's like threatens to leave him and storms off when he goes to do surgery on this guy who fell off his motorcycle. And he has a hard time doing any type of operating, and the guy dies on the table. And I don't know if it really is the the surgeon's fault or not, but it kind of seems like it. He's clearly in no condition to be working. His brains are wrecked from losing his marriage and all of these kind of things. So the motorcyclist dies, and so the rest of the movie really is the motorcyclist's girlfriend kidnaps the surgeon, brings him out to some house, beach house, and essentially tortures him. Uh, Tries to kill him multiple times. She definitely didn't care if he lived or died. And so this is the kind of movie it is. The torture is it is disturbing, and the the abuse that her boyfriend put her through also is pretty disgusting. Stuff she didn't want to do sexually, he just kind of didn't care. He forced her into it, and the kind of stuff that she puts the surgeon through, of course, he never asked for, and she really played the kind of Sadian, you're here for my pleasure, I'm going to kill you. At some point, I just don't know how I'm going to do it yet, so I'll just play with you until then. And so that was pretty disturbing. The bonus features on this Blu-ray are really good. There's some interviews with cast like Brett Halsey and Corinne Clary. They're both interviews on here. Then there's a couple of other little bonus features, and then there's a Stephen Thrower video, him talking about the movie, and Lucio Fulci and things like that. And Stephen Thrower is great to listen to. And then is it Pete Toombs? I think Pete Toombs. There's like a audio essay on here as well, and he's also very interesting to listen to. I have one of his, he was one of the authors of Immoral Tales, and he's well known for some other stuff too. I think Pete Toombs might have been one of the guys that started the Mondo Macabro video label. I could be wrong about that, but I think he was, and the guy's really knowledgeable. His writing and stuff like that has been excellent. Really worth listening to. So I checked those two out this weekend, and not fully disappointed with either of them. Actually, The Devil's Honey is a pretty decent movie. If you're into the if you're into melodrama and erotic thrillers, it's pretty good. Nothing hardcore as far as sex goes in the movie, but pretty decent story-wise, and as far as the filmmaking and everything, it's pretty well made, and you actually do have some feelings for the characters in the movie. So not a waste, not a just a sex film for sex sake. It's actually pretty good. So those are what I've watched recently. I've got there's so much coming out that I'm going to be ready to pick up, and I was just looking at one of SHAREfactory's posts there. They started talking about 10 upcoming releases that they've got. I'm not going to list them here, but maybe in a later video. They've got a really cool looking limited package for Night of the Demons. It's a steel book, and it comes with a 9-inch tall Angela doll, which is pretty awesome. There's so much. SHAREfactory's also putting out a nice new edition of Creepshow on Blu-ray, which I'm sure I'll pick that up. So I'm also going to be checking out more of Code Red's releases. And then I went to Severin Films' website because I've been waiting for Combat Shock. That's the movie. They're putting out a new Blu-ray. I haven't gotten it yet, and I've been wondering, and they said that should ship by July 27th. And I ordered the bundle that has the book and the T-shirt and all kinds of stuff like that, and there it looks like I can't wait for Combat Shock. So maybe I'll end up reviewing that one. But that's all I've got for today. I need to keep up making these videos. I've been kind of lazy over the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to start shooting video, and I got some of the stuff I need, but I need a better microphone, and it's hot in the back room, and I've been kind of lazy with the whole cleaning and getting that set up. So I guess that's still to come. But anyway, this has been Psycho. For Movies with Psycho, check out the Grindhouse community on PlayStation Network for more posts and conversation. You can like, comment, subscribe in the video. I'll check out any comments that you post out there. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for today. So I hope you're all having a good day, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks.
You are just pathetic sacks of corrupt DNA.